Hello, this is the Bible in Fewer Words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 94, Judges, chapter 15. If you enjoy this podcast, consider supporting us at patreon.com/BFW. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
So another boring episode today?
No, this is a fun one.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let's start the fun.
Okay, chapter 15, verse 1. I guess before we go on, though, we should just mention that we are talking about Samson here. Mm-hmm. And what happened in the last episode?
Samson he doesn't have a wife anymore. He gave her to his best man.
That's right. Yeah, he had that riddle, and they solved it and everything. He got the clothes for them.
Kill those people.
Yeah. And then he came back and found out that his wife had been given to his best man.
Okay, so it's not him that gave his wife away. It's
her
father.
Dad. Yeah, her father did.
Okay.
So it's explained here, so we'll go on with verse 1.
Great.
Sometime later, Samson visited his wife with a young goat and said, "I will have sex with my wife in the bedroom."
Okay, why the goat?
The goat is kind of the biblical fee for visiting a prostitute.
So the money on the nightstand.
Yeah, you remember when Judah was having sex with Tamar?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but he brought a goat.
Okay.
And that was kind of the standard payment for a prostitute.
But isn't she his wife?
She's his wife, but it's a minor difference.
Okay.
Right? It was just a woman that pleased him well, that he saw, a Philistine woman that pleased him well. I guess he married her. You know how it is in the Bible?
Yes.
Marriage is sort of not really a thing.
No, walking into the tent, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Anyway, he brought a goat.
Okay.
And he went to his wife's father's house and wanted to have sex with his wife.
All right. But her father wouldn't let him go in. He said to Samson, "I thought you hated her, so I gave her to your best man. Isn't her sister prettier anyway? Take her instead."
Yeah, so the father thought he hated her. What he meant was he thought he divorced her. Remember in Deuteronomy? It says that if you hate your wife,
oh, you can get rid of her.
Just get rid of her.
Oh, yeah.
So he thought he divorced her. He married her off to someone else, to his best man, apparently.
Yes. And his evidence of him hating her was that she told the answer to the riddle to the
maybe
Philistines.
so. Yeah. He did kind of act like, hey, if you hadn't plowed with my heifer, then you wouldn't have guessed my riddle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway, the father thought that he had divorced her, essentially, so he gave her to another man, to the best man. So now, of course, Samson's stuck. He can't remarry his former wife because that's an abomination. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the wife that he really liked, I guess, pleased him well anyway, is no longer available to him. So he's pretty upset. And he doesn't want the sister, apparently.
Yeah. So the wife that pleased him is no longer available to him.
Right, because he's married another man, and you can't remarry someone after you divorce them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And she must have been divorced.
So they must have been married because they had that whole marriage
I think it's
ceremony.
kind of like, how Trump can declassify things just by thinking about it?
Okay.
I think that you can divorce a woman just by thinking about it, just by hating her.
All right. So Samson said, "I will be more blameless than the Philistines, but they won't like what I do to them." What does that really mean? I will be more blameless. Like, I'm not at fault here?
Yeah, the Philistines are really at blame.
Okay.
I'm going to be blameless compared to them.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to do something awful to them.
Yeah, they're not going to like it.
Okay.
So he caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together, and set them on fire, and released them into the Philistines' crops.
So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
How do you catch 300 foxes? I mean, they're pretty clever.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Okay.
To catch 300 foxes, it's hard to even see a fox, find a fox.
Yes.
But to catch 300 foxes, and then to tie their tails together, that would be interesting. I guess he tied not all 300 together in one big knot.
No.
But maybe in pairs.
Okay,
Yeah.
and their tails, like back to back, one like
so
a
he
tug of war.
Had 150 pairs of foxes with their tails tied together, and then lit them on fire, I guess, because that's what you do with foxes. and then had them run around in the Philistines' fields, and it would destroy their crops. That would make a mess of their crops.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. So that's what he did.
Okay, and that was his threat. They're not going to like what I do to them.
Right, yeah.
And he did that. So verse 6, when the Philistines found out about it, they said, who did this?
They were told that Samson did it.
So the Philistines burned Samson's wife and father?
Yeah, I guess it's really his former wife, right? Because his ex-wife. But yeah, the woman that he liked, that was married to somebody else now, the Philistines got angry about all this, and so they came and burned his wife and her father.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
That's awful.
So
Those are people.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So Samson said to the Philistines, because you have done this, I will take revenge. Then I'll be done.
Okay, I'm a little scared to read on here. And Samson smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter.
Then he went to live on the top of a rock in Etam.
So smiting, I think the definition of that you've told me is killing.
Yeah, he killed a bunch of people with a great slaughter. Bunch of Philistines.
And he killed them hip and thigh. What does that mean?
I don't know.
It does sound kind of cool.
It is. It's an expression that's used. It's a really big slaughter. Really, really cool. Really big thing. Hip and thigh.
Hip and thigh. Okay. So now he lives up on a rock in Edom. Edom is a place I've never heard of before.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Okay. So verse 9. The Philistines went to Lehi in the land of Judah. And the men of Judah said to the Philistines, why have you come to our land?
The Philistines answered, to capture Samson and do to him what he did to us.
This sounds like a teenage fight.
Yeah.
3,000 men of Judah went to the top of Rock Etam and said to Samson.
All 3,000 of them said, we are going to tie you up and give you to the Philistines. I guess it takes 3,000 guys to tie Samson up.
Uh-huh. Although they don't really know his special skills.
No, they
yet.
don't. No, they're going to... Well, maybe they do. I mean, he did the lion thing, and he smote the hip and thigh with a slaughter.
The lion thing, nobody saw
secret.
it.
Yeah.
But the hip and thigh thing,
yeah,
that's probably evident.
Oh, and he killed the 30 men for their clothes.
Oh, yeah.
That was something.
So they tied him up with 2 new ropes.
Yeah. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson.
And he broke the ropes and killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass.
The jawbone of an ass.
Another nice expression.
Yeah, that's a bigger deal than Shamgar with the 600 with the ox goad.
Yes.
It's 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass. That's amazing.
So after that, Samson was thirsty. And he said to God,
you've helped me kill all these people. Will you now let me die of thirst and be carried away by uncircumcised men?
That's a good descriptor.
Yeah.
So God carved out a hole in the jawbone of the ass.
And water came out of the hole, quenching Samson's thirst.
Jawbones kind of, have a nice...
They're really not much of a water bottle, though, are they?
No, they aren't. No. So Samson judged Israel for 20 years.
Yeah, he was the last judge of Israel.
Uh-huh. So how did he... I'm trying to think of the cycle.
Can you imagine a man like that judging anyone? Or being in power, or the person in authority? I mean, he's a psychopath, this guy.
Yeah.
But he judged Israel for 20 years. And that's the end of our story for today.
All right. Well, that was kind of a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where we are for today, folks.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're done with Samson.
No, there's one more episode of Samson. The one that everybody knows about is coming up next time. Or has heard about anyway.
So, Samson and Delilah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Uh-huh.
All right, listeners. Thanks for staying with us. Have a good day.